maintain a spirit of respect and order. We can be passionate without being disruptive, and we can disagree without being disrespectful. Because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing, a safer, stronger Shelby County. That's a good place to clap right there. So, welcome to St. Paul. Welcome to what we prayerfully will be some engaging, some lively conversation about the future and the direction of Shelby County. Let me bring it this time, Mr. Willie Simon. There he is.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, we want to just give some honor to the shepherd of this house, Pastor Christopher Davis. We know he's a great man of God, but there's some political things that come out of his mouth sometimes that tell me that he might need to be helping us in government sometimes. So I tell y'all, if y'all push him a little bit, press him a little bit, tell him to come out and serve in another capacity. So like I'm going to be doing. So he ain't going to avoid it. He's my neighbor too, so I throw some rocks over the fence and mess with him. So I thank him for allowing us to be in his facility tonight. And I thank you guys for coming tonight. One of the most important things that we need to remember from this is the reason we gather like this is for your voice to be heard. Not just to hear from the candidates, but for you to actually see how this person is going to actually affect your everyday life. See what plans these people have for making sure we push our county forward. See what plans they have to keep us safe in our community. And I just asked somebody a question a minute ago. I said, who's going to keep us the safest? And the question always says, well, the police. No, it's us. We're the ones that's going to keep us the safest. And we have to collaborate with these people, these individuals that are sitting here that are already serving our county. We have to collaborate with them to make sure that we keep our city safe and our county safe. One of the things that we have to realize, accountability has to be taken by each and every one of us as it relates to public safety. The police respond to an issue, but we can help prevent it from happening. The way we interact with one another, the way we do things with one another, I think that's important that we need to bring to this whole mindset of how we're actually addressing crime in our community. So one of the things I want you to give yourself a hand because you're here. You're here saying that we need to have a leader that is going to listen to you and collaborate with you. So give yourself a hand right now. And then I want to thank members of the Shelby County Democratic Party. I'm Willie Simon. I'm the chair of the Shelby County Democratic Party. And when crime happens, we don't run out and say we're a Democrat. People don't care who they rob. People don't care who they shoot at. We're Democrats. And what we want to do is make sure that people know in this county that the Democratic Party cares about what happens when we hit these streets. We represent the largest voting population, and we want to make sure that whoever represents this party is going to make sure that your voice is being heard. And I want everybody that's part of the Shelby County Democratic Party, would you please stand? Now, these are our officers. These are people that show up every day to talk about what's going on in the Shelby County Democratic Party. We have our vice chairs and our chairs and our executive committee members. But most of all, when I said who is the Shelby County Democratic Party, everybody in this room that votes Democrat should have stood. So who is the Shelby County Democratic Party? And that means everybody that votes Democrat needs to stand. So from now on, when I hear a conversation about what the party is doing, I want you to look in the mirror and say, how am I contributing to it? Because it's important that there is power in numbers. If it took that little few people that just stood up to represent all of us, we're going to be in trouble. We need every last one of you to show up. On election day, when we're planning, when we're doing things, we need to see you there. Because that's the only way we're going to move the needle in Shelby County. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to another servant, a man that served in many capacities in the city on the He's been as a county commissioner. He's been an attorney. He's a former president of the NAACP. Are you the current president right now of the NAACP? Former president of NAACP. This man has done so many things. He's helping Regional 1 right now get themselves ready for a state-of-the-art hospital. He's the only van I know. And he's a great van, I'll tell you that much. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to a man that at some point, I believe, he could be a mayor. At some point, this man could be whatever he wants to be. But right now, he chose to be our moderator. And so we're going to pay attention to him tonight as he moderates this thing and gets us to a point to where he controls the narrative, make sure these great candidates get up here and give the answers that you guys want to hear. So without further ado, I introduce to all of you, Van Turner.
Good evening. How's everyone feeling? We got any Democrats in the house? All right. Y'all give yourselves a hand. I had the pleasure of serving as chair of the Democratic Party from 2009 to 2013. Some things have changed, some things have not changed. We still got to fight. We still got to be with the people. We still got to align with labor and unions and teachers and hard workers. And we need to make sure that we still turn out that vote on what date? May 5th. Then we got to come back on August 6th. All right. And then we got to come back in November 3rd. Okay? So those are the 3 dates we have to make sure we keep in mind. You have to make sure you're registered to vote 30 days prior to the election. All right? Early voting begins in this particular race on what date? April 15th. Okay, we got it. So without further ado, let's bring up our candidates. And the candidates, y'all come to the stage. Y'all give them a hand as they ascend to the podium. We're going to go in alphabetical order, and they put it on the screen for us. Alphabetical order, so we're going to go Buckner, Hubbard, Pollard, Pope, Scott. All right. One of these individuals will be your next sheriff. We start right here. Yeah. I'm just going by how y'all appeared on the screen. Yeah. Let's give them another hand. Y'all take your pictures. I've had plenty of debates, but I like this side of the table here moderating, and I'm not in the hot seat tonight. I want to give it up again to the leader of this great house. He is a doctor, he is a president, he is a pastor. First and foremost, he's a man of God. He's a father and a husband. He's many things, but we need to give it up one more time for the great president, Dr. Chris Davis. Y'all give it up for him one more time. Now, if you are an elected official or you want to be an elected official, you're running for office, stick around. I'm going to acknowledge each and every one of you. Having been in that role, everybody likes to hear their name called. So y'all stick around, I'm gonna call your name, I'm gonna have you stand up, and I'm gonna let the people see you. So just hold tight, we're gonna get to that. But first, we wanna focus on our next sheriff. We're gonna start in alphabetical order, and let me go to the script. Our Sheriff Candidates Forum. Tonight's conversation focuses on the most urgent issues facing Shelby County. The conditions inside our jail, long-term crime, reduction strategies, intergovernmental cooperation, countywide law enforcement collaboration, and reducing recidivism. Our goal is simple: to give voters clear, direct answers from the candidates seeking to lead the sheriff's office. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to respond to each of the 6 primary questions. Where's our timekeeper? Y'all see the young lady there? She's the enforcer tonight. Now, you all are going to be the sheriff, one of y'all, but she's the sheriff in town tonight with this time. When you see your 2 minutes are up, you got to be quiet, or I'm going to have to do something. I can't arrest you, but I'm going to have to tell you to be quiet, though. Yeah. Say that again. Okay, and there's a time up there, too. So we got time here, but this is the primary time down here. But we do have a time up there as well. Thank y'all. Okay, each candidate will have 2 minutes to respond to each of the 6 primary questions. We will conclude with a lightning round of 5 rapid response questions based on the official duties of the sheriff. We thank all candidates for participating and all community members for being here. Let's begin. Each candidate will now have 1 minute for an opening statement. We will begin in alphabetical order, starting with Mr. Anthony Buckner.
Good evening. Well, first I want to start by thanking the Shelby County Democratic Party for hosting this important event. I also want to thank St. Paul Baptist Church and Dr. Davis for opening the doors to this beautiful church. And I want to thank each of you who are here in person and those who are watching virtually for your attendance as well. My name is Anthony Buckner, and I'm a candidate for Shelby County Sheriff. Before I get into my experience, I want to first share with you why I chose to run for sheriff. So roughly around 3 years ago, I was having a conversation with my daughter, my favorite daughter, Zaria, who's a student at MTSU. And I was asking her about her plans once she graduates from college. And what she said to me hurt me more than anything that I've heard. She said, "Dad, when I graduate from college, I'm not returning to Memphis because I don't feel safe." But my reason for running for sheriff doesn't start and stop with Zaria. It starts and stops with the conversations I've also had at town hall meetings, neighborhood watch groups, and on the aisles of Walmart and Target. We all have concerns about our community. My name is Anthony Buckner, and I hope throughout the rest of this evening you will learn more about me. Thank you.
Greetings to each and every one of you all. My name is Reginald Hubbard. I'm a former assistant chief. I'm a husband for more than 35 years, a father of 2. My start started inside the jail division. I began my career inside the jail, went from there to the law enforcement side, where I served as a deputy sheriff. For more than 36 years, I served this community. I had more extensive background in the area of street crimes unit, metro gang unit, the narcotics division, where I served as the executive lieutenant over narcotics. So I ask for your support and in this conversation in regards to this forum.
Y'all give Mr. Hubbard a hand. And what we're going to do is cut the time off back there if you don't mind, because we're confusing the folks here, and we're going to let Ms. Ruby be the timekeeper. So just stay focused on Ms. Ruby down here, and that way we won't have confusion. Mr. Hubbard, do you need any more time? Because I know you got confused there. Just wrap it up.
No, sir. I was looking at 2 different times here. I
We're
apologize.
going to stop that.
But I want this community to know that after 36 years, I'm looking to serve this community in the best way know-how. So thank you and support Reginald Hubbard for Sheriff.
All right, let's give him a hand. So we'll just stick to the time down here. And candidates, you don't have to come around. You can stand up or you can sit down where you are. That way we don't have a trip and you might need to call me, but nah. I'm just playing, Pastor. But you can stand where you are or sit down where you are, but you don't have to walk around. Go ahead.
Hello, citizens. My name is Ricky Pollard. I'm running to be your next Shelby County Sheriff. Our county is facing a challenge that requires real leadership and meaningful change. I believe the time has come to move forward with a stronger commitment to the safety and well-being of our communities. That is why I decided to run to do what needs to be done for the citizens of Shelby County. Crime remains a serious concern, and our streets and schools and neighborhoods deserve safe for every family. My goal is to work with the community to restore confidence in the sheriff's office and ensure the public safety is always the top priority. On election day, take place on May 5th, 2026,
All right, Mr. Pollard, y'all give him a hand. Mr. Pope.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Pope, and I'd like to say thank you all for coming out to such a pivotal time we have here in Shelby County, electing the next sheriff of Shelby County. We have all witnessed the epic failures of this sheriff's office. I'm running for this office because I bring to you almost 4 decades of service in law enforcement. I've served as the chief of police, and I'm currently serving now as a criminal investigator for the Shelby County District Attorney's Office. This sheriff's office needs a new leadership. We need a problem solver, a person that knows what to do and not being told what to do. I'm Michael Pope. I'm soliciting your vote.
Last but not least, Ms. Scott.
Yes, my name is Keisha Scott. Good afternoon, everyone. And I'm running because we need a sheriff to protect the people. We need a sheriff to run a safe, constitutional jail, which we have lack of now. I'm running and I'm making history. I'm going to be the first female sheriff inside the Shelby County and the state of Tennessee. I'm going to be the one fighting for the people, standing with you. Because what we're lacking is transparency and accountability, and we need a sheriff that's going to have transparency in law enforcement. Thank you. My name is Keisha Scott.
As we get into this, we've acknowledged the leader of this great house, Pastor Davis, but there's someone else we have to acknowledge because he's not here doing it by himself. He has to have a great lady that's standing beside him. Y'all give it up for First Lady Davis, who's also here with us. Thank you very much. All right. Now we get into our 6 primary questions. Each candidate will have 2 minutes. Ms. Ruby is your timekeeper. Let's get ready to go. We're going to start with Mr. Butner, and then we're going to go alphabetically to start from that point. First question. The Shelby County Jail has faced long-standing challenges related to safety, staffing, overcrowding, and compliance with federal standards. What is your plan to address the most urgent issues inside the jail, and what structural reforms would you prioritize in your first year?
Thank you for that question. So I think there are 3 important things that face the Shelby County Jail right now: staffing, inmate health care, as well as the infrastructure of the building. So let's start with staffing. So 2 years ago, I became the chief deputy of the sheriff's office. And one of the first things that I tackled was trying to improve or enhance the staffing that we have, particularly inside of the jail. What I have put in place over the last 2 years have allowed us to hire 200 plus new correctional officers into our rank and file. In fact, 2 weeks ago, we started a class of 41 correctional officers. We have not done that in years. But in inmate health, right now the contract to service inmate health is held by the county. I submit to you that that contract needs to be held by the sheriff, because as sheriff, when I walk through the jail, and if I'm unhappy or dissatisfied with the services that the inmates are receiving as it relates to health care, I should have the authority to cancel the contract and find someone who can bring the services to the jail that the inmates and the detained population deserve. And then lastly, the infrastructure. I submit to you the first year within the sheriff's office, I will commission a feasibility study for the Shelby County Jail. There are a lot of conversations right now about building a new jail, but we don't even know right now how much life is left in the current facility. So my first year, I'll be tackling staffing, I'll be tackling inmate health care, and I'll be tackling the infrastructure with a feasibility study. Thank you.
Yes, during my time of working inside the jail, some of the things that we did was we put forth policies that address the major concerns inside of the jail of overcrowding, housing, and other things. In this particular case, I would be presenting a strategic plan, 2026, before the community in regards to my plans. Those plans have 5 non-negotiable pillars. Number 1, budgeting. Number 2, transparency. Number 3, accountability. Number 4, infrastructure. and number 5, humane treatment. During my time inside the jail and working with individuals, the culture inside has to change. We are living with a culture inside of there that deals with friendship, relationship, nepotism, cronyism, and it's not working inside of there. So one of the things we have to do is look at changing the culture. The other thing is management. Management have to be in a position where they understand how to lead opposed to how to follow. So the third thing outside of that would be to make sure that we are doing everything we can with our stakeholders in order to develop better relationships, reaching across the aisle, making sure we get the job done. So those things is things that I would put forth in my strategic 2026 plans, and I will make sure that we address those 5 non-pillars in the way that needs to be addressed in order to get forward. Thank you.
Before Mr. Parler goes, I've been reminded, please silence your cell phone so we don't interrupt the candidates as they're speaking. Okay, Mr. Parler?
All right, first is first. First, I believe there needs to be a stronger oversight on how the jail is managed. That may include changes in leadership to ensure the facility being run effectively, professionally, and full accountability. Second, the facility itself needs attention. The jail requires an update, maintenance, and improvements to the overall condition of the building. A clean, well-maintained facility is essential for safety and security and a proper operation. But most importantly, we must address staffing. We need a well-trained correctional officer who are properly prepared to manage the responsibilities of the job. At the same time, we need qualified mental health professionals working inside the jail. Right now, many correction staffs are being placed in situations where they are expected to handle mental health issues without the proper training or support. That is not fair to the officer, and it does not properly serve individuals in custody. Bringing trained mental health professionals will improve safety, improve care, and help the entire system operate more effectively.
Thank you.
The first thing I would do is rebuild. The Sheriff's Office has 736 vacancies. We need an aggressive recruiting campaign to recruit officers. Also, I would do is stabilize. We need to stabilize the conditions of the jail, stop the drugs from being brought in, stop the killings and stabbings and the fighting. We need to do a better job of maintaining officer safety. Another thing that I would do is retain officers there. I can take my hat off to some of the officers that work in the jail. Right now, they are low morale. They don't have, the union contract is not signed. They don't have fair promotions. They don't have anything that's equivalent to what they should have based on the contract. So other things I'd like to do is introduce to the jail staffing is hazardous duty pay. That incentive would bring about the morale, put them on a higher pay scale, and also give them a stability to do things that they do. We need a jail that works. We need law enforcement officers that work. And also what we're going to do is introduce the first ever Sheriff's Office ambulance service. That ambulance service will be housed at 201 Poplar, where we have inmate in crisis. We can quickly get him the service that he needs. We're going to make sure that Shelby County Jails is working properly, it's staffed, it has the medical staff that it needs, and training officers that they need. Thank you.
We all know the conditions of the jail. That's the main thing we have to do. Whether we remodel the jail or we build a new one, those are the questions. But we're going to have to do both, because while you're remodeling, you're going to have to build a new one. But you're not going to build it in a community amongst people. Nobody wants to be growing up looking at the backyard of a jail. That's the main thing. While we're doing that, we're going to have mental health. That's the number 2. People know when you go into a jail, you can't get 24/7 care in a jail cell. That goes back to training. Officers aren't equipped to train to see somebody's detox, to see if somebody's suicidal, to see if somebody's having a chronic episode. We need mental health care professionals for that. And with me, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hire 24/7. You're going to have a doctor and a nurse inside the intake area to where they take that pressure off the corrections officer and they make that assessment. Either we're going to take them or we're not. And of course, the staffing, we all know we're 400 plus short. It's been like that. This didn't happen overnight, so we need to have a strategic plan from 2026 to 2030. We shouldn't be in this situation today if you have a 5-year strategic plan. That's what we're lacking. Leadership and accountability. And there's no transparency in that. You have an oversight committee over the jail. They can deal with those who are dying. Over 100 deaths in that jail. If you have an oversight committee, they can catch things like that. You have checks and balances. Thank you. My name is Keisha Scott.
Okay, now we're to our second question, and we'll start with Mr. Hubbard. For the second question, go down and come back around to Mr. Buckner. The second question is, the Memphis Safe Task Force is a temporary intervention. What long-term sustainable strategies should the Sheriff's Office lead or support to reduce violent crime across Shelby County once the task force concludes? Mr. Hubbard, 2 minutes.
One of the things that we have to do is look at things that feed crime. Those things are poverty, those things are narcotics. So the Sheriff's Office, as your next sheriff, I would look at new ways of addressing narcotics in our community. One of the ways is that we would be going on offense opposed to defense. For so long, we have went on defense with narcotics and we have locked individuals up and the charges did not meet criteria. Most of those that are locked up inside of Shelby County Jail are on felony charges but are users. We will look at redirecting the way we do business as it relates to narcotics crimes. And we would go after those dealers that are pushing drugs to our young people and address those concerns. So we most definitely would look at the ways to deal with narcotics in order to address the concerns we have in our community.
Thank you very much. Mr. Pollard?
First thing I'll do, well, I'll piggyback. If I'm elected as sheriff, what I'll do, I'll take Shelby County Sheriff Department, give it to other municipalities, and give it to other municipalities, and pour from each agency to piggyback on what they were doing when they were here. Think about it. A lot of people don't want the task force here. Task force, they're here and they're doing what they're supposed. They're doing what they're told to do. But think about it. If I was sheriff, I would give it Collierville, Barley, Germantown, and I would give them, and I would form my own task force, and I go from there. That's what I'll do.
Thank you very much. All right, next we have Mr. Pope.
One of the duties and responsibilities that the sheriff has, he does the same thing as the U.S. Marshals. The sheriff has the power to deputize officers of other agencies. So what I would do is build back the partnership that we have with these other community law enforcement agencies, like Barley, Germantown, Collierville, Germantown, Memphis, and THP. I would collect and work those other counties. We will put together a task force to service the people of our community. And that way, we know the needs of the community, we know who the bad guys are, we know who the gangbangers are. We have all that technology and that experience that we know who we're looking for. And more importantly, what I would do is build back the trust in the community. We would have reserve officers come and work alongside those who work in neighborhood associations. We have retired deputies come and patrol in the areas where they live. We got to put the responsibility back on the community to work alongside other law enforcement to stop the crime in this community, and that's going to be one of my duties as sheriff.
Thank you very much. Ms. Scott?
Yes, Keisha Scott. This all comes back, circle back every time, no matter what the question is, it involves the community. The community. We have to partnership with the community. Nonprofits, your business, we have to, in law enforcement, take that first step out to the people. Don't expect them to come to us. Go to them. You have to meet people where they are. You have to go to their town halls, go to their community events, like I do. Go to their schools, mentor their kids, like I do. We talk about our youth, but are you mentoring the youth? I do. And I don't need my job to tell me that. I do that on my own because I believe in our youth. That's where our future is going to be. So what we have to do with the sheriff's office, the sheriff is the highest law enforcement officer here over city chief, Millington, Germantown, everybody. The sheriff has to put his thumbprint on Memphis and Shelby County, okay? The sheriff has to step up and say, this is my county, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to set that tone. Everybody else going to follow my lead. And we don't have that. But with me, you're going to have that. I'm going to have my task force. It ain't going to be Memphis. It's going to be the sheriff's task force. And everybody else going to get on board and do what I need them to do to bring this community together. And that's what it's going to take. We got to start that drive. Get on board, everybody. This is a community thing. It's not just the sheriff. Put the hands back into the people, the sheriff's office. Take politics out of it. This is your community. Take it back. Stand up. Stand with me and fight back and take your city and your county back. My name is Keisha Scott and be your first female sheriff in Shelby.
To reduce violent crime in our community, there are three approaches: prevention, intervention, and detention. Prevention. You're looking at a person who's the product of mentorship. When I was 8 years old, a mentor came into my life. I'm 46 years old, and now I get to stand here and run for sheriff. Prevention through mentorship is huge for our community. And I always say this, just imagine if one person took a young person and poured into that person, what could our community look like? Intervention. When those people come in contact with law enforcement, they found themselves crossways with the law. We got to have the wraparound services in our community to put these individuals back on the right track. Intervention. And then detention. For those who don't respond to mentorship, they don't respond to intervention, then we have got to have law enforcement boots on the ground that can enforce the law and put people behind bars where they can find redemption or they can find the services they need to change their life. Those are the three approaches. So when the task force leaves, you have a sheriff that has a crime strategy to make sure that we are still responding to crime in a smart way. And we're putting our officers in neighborhoods and communities where they have seen a depreciation in the quality of life and they've seen an increase in crime. Again, prevention, intervention, and detention. Those are the three simple approaches to addressing major crime or violent crime in our community. Thank you.
Now we're on question number 3. This is a very important question. I think it was mentioned up here. But if there's a natural disaster here in our community and they look for leadership in this community, they're not going to look to the city mayor or the county mayor. They're not going to look to the municipal governments. If there's a disaster in Shelby County, the person who has control of this community is the sheriff. So in case of a disaster, the most powerful person in this community will be one of these individuals up here. Now, the sheriff has to submit his budget to the mayor, and the mayor has to submit the budget to the 13 county commissioners, which has to be passed by 7 votes. So it's important that even with all the power that the sheriff possesses, that sheriff still has to work with the mayor and the county commission to get the budget passed. Now, it's a checks and balance. If the sheriff doesn't get his budget passed, he can go to Chancery Court and sue saying that this is a public safety issue. I need the money to protect the people of Shelby County. So we don't want to get to that ever again. We want our mayor, our sheriff, and our county commission all working together, traveling in the same direction. So that's why this third question is so important. The sheriff's office must work with the county mayor, the county commission, courts, and state agencies. How will you repair and strengthen these intergovernmental relationships to ensure coordinated public safety efforts? And we're going to start with you, Mr. Pollard. 2 minutes.
First, I believe direct communication. If there's a disagreement, first step is sitting down and having an honest conversation. For those discussing should be guided by facts, data, and what is best for the public safety. Public safety should never be compromised because of political disagreement. My focus will always be finding solutions and to serve the people of Shelby County, rather than allowing issues to turn into public conflict. If necessary, we will work through private negotiations to reach a common ground. In some situations, it may also require me revisiting to clearly understand the roles and responsibilities of each office. When those roles are well defined and respected, it helps prevent unnecessary conflict and keeps the focus where it belongs, on protecting the community.
Thank you. Mr. Pope.
One of my greatest strengths is relationships. As the next sheriff of Shelby County, I will maintain a great relationship with the next mayor, with all the city leaders, all the county leaders, all of the chief of police of this county. It's important that we put people first, and people understand the importance of sheriff's office. What we deem that's important, as you talk about a natural disaster, there are certain things that we gotta have. So those things have to be talked about in board meetings, retreats, special council meetings, to ensure that when it's time to get a budget set, presented to the stakeholders, that we talk to the clergy, we talk to the community leaders, and everybody's on the same page. And whatever those articles are that the sheriff needs to keep Shelby County safe, that the mayor will go automatically sign off on it. Because we had those discussions, we know what's needed, we have relationships, we'll make sure that all the funds for the sheriff's office is allocated and go to what they were designed for. Thank you.
Everything comes back to respecting people and respecting their opinion. First, we have to respect each other. I need to respect the mayor's position. He needs to respect mine. We need to come together, have a mutual understanding. This is what we're going to do. Let's develop some type of memorandum, some type of policy, how we're going to conduct this jail, because it needs to be safe. We don't need to be pointing fingers who does what. We need to have solutions to the problems. And right now, you don't have that. You got people pointing. Get to the bottom of the problem. Come to the table with solution. If you got a problem, bring that solution with you. Be respectful. We're going to have sit-downs and we're going to talk it out. We're going to come to an agreement. You may not like what I have to say, and I may not like what you have to say, but we're going to come to an understanding because we're doing what? Putting people first, not ourselves. Take yourself out of the equation and think about everybody else. Think about this community. So let's have a policy in place where we don't have to go back and forth bickering about who does what and who didn't do what. That's what my plan is, and that's what I plan to do. Partnership. I don't mind stepping down and saying, hey, what do you have? If your idea is better than mine, let's do it. It doesn't matter who get the credit and who don't. The problem is we're going to get it done, and it's going to be for the people. And right now, our leadership isn't thinking about the people. They're thinking about themselves. Who look good on TV and who don't. My name is Keith Scott. Thank you.
In my 20-plus year career, I've had the pleasure of serving as as a hostage negotiator for about 8 years. And what I learned in being a hostage negotiator is that it's difficult to build relationships in the middle of crisis. those have to be built outside of crisis. And so as the next sheriff, you have my commitment to form a committee that will comprise members of the county commission, the mayor, or someone from his staff, to make sure on a routine basis that they're hearing about the issues that we're facing at the sheriff's office. The issues that we're going to discuss tonight and that we've already discussed, to resolve them can't be start and stop, or it can't start and stop with the sheriff. It has to take the cooperation of the county mayor, it has to take the cooperation of the county commission to get to an end result that we all can be happy of. But what I can tell you is that we're all exhausted from the back and forth between elected officials. We're all exhausted from lawsuits between elected officials. And I think we all, as voters, want to see elected officials working together for the people. You're going to have that in me as your next sheriff. Right now, I have the pleasure of working with several of the county officials, trying to come up with solutions to get us through the next day, the next week, the next month. You're going to have that commitment with me as your next sheriff, because I truly believe that we can really, really build relationships when we're outside of crisis. Thank you.
One of the things I did as an assistant chief during my tenure inside the jail was creating quarterly meetings with every municipality in the county. We developed relationships with those individuals. We heard the problems that was going on, we solved them, and we put forth policies that would address their concerns. The thing we would do was create those quarterly meetings with those sheriffs, with the mayors as well, both city and county, because the city is paying tax dollars into the county's budgets as well. So we would look at meeting with those individuals outside of the public eye and having those conversations about what we can do in order to better things for the citizens of this community and not just ourselves. Most individuals are filled with self-aggrandizement, and they move away from the idea of reaching across the aisle, and they draw lines. We will eliminate those lines. We will have those conversations, and we will make sure that we are communicating in the best way possible for the citizens of this county, not for just ourselves. So I would look at quarterly meetings. I would look at making sure that I'm communicating that information back to the staff and other people, and making sure that we do the best possible job for the citizens of this county.
Thank you very much. We're now down to our fourth question. Again, 2 minutes each for this particular question. We're going to start with Mr. Pope for this question. Crime does not stop at city limits. How will you build a stronger countywide partnership with municipal police departments such as MPD, Bartlett, Germantown, Collierville, and Millington to create a unified crime reduction strategy? Mr. Pope.
As I stated before, building relationships. When I started my career in sheriff's office in 1987, we were all partnership. We had a Metro DUI, Metro Narcotics, Metro Gang Unit, Street Crimes Unit. So I would give those chief police, those other elected officials, and we'll bring those things back. Community policing together as one local unit, one local body serving the county. And how we do that is, like I said before, the sheriff has the power to deputize officers from other agencies. We work collectively together to fight crime in all of Shelby County. Make sure that we come together and do things that we need to do to serve the community to stop crime in its tracks. Relationships and deputize officers from other agencies. Thank you.
Everything circle back to the community policing. That's what I always talk about in all my forums. We're going to have to get with all the other agencies. It's possible we've done it. When I came on, I worked in the Metro Gang Unit. Partnership with the city. It's all about putting one agency pride aside and everybody collaborate. And that's what we're having now. We got everybody like Graham, button head, everybody trying to be the alpha. Instead of thinking about the community and thinking about what the community needs. The community needs a sheriff who's going to care about them. The The community needs the sheriff to build trust. You know how you build that trust, people? You got to get outside that squad car. Yeah. You got to get in that community. You got to talk to them. You can't be afraid. You got to get out in the county and go into the city. The city should not have to ask the sheriff, can y'all come and patrol my area? And then you don't show up. Shouldn't have to ask for services like that when they're paying for it. You don't mind coming asking for the vote when it's election time. You in everybody's church then, everybody event. But when it's all over and said and done, don't nobody see you, you go. Community police people, partnership. We gotta hold our elected officials accountable. If you want transparency, you gotta hold them accountable, and you gotta say, hey, you came to me. If you want my vote, this is my agenda, and you hold them to that. You don't let them slide. They're not gonna let you slide. Violate the law and see what's gonna happen. So we have to have that partnership. And I don't mind stepping out the car, because I used to do it when I was in patrol for 8.5 years. I rode the streets, this area too. I know what it's like to get out, play basketball with the kids for a couple of seconds. Thank you. My name is Keisha Scott.
The person who wears the shoe knows where it hurts, and the shoemaker knows how. As a sheriff, I got to go to the communities and hear directly from the municipalities and those communities to know exactly where their shoe is hurting, where their pain points are. As your sheriff, I will make sure that I'm a good partner with the Memphis Police Department, with the Bartlett Police, Germantown, Careyville. So much so, as your chief deputy today, I'm doing that right now. So twice a month, we're meeting with all of our law enforcement partners to making sure we understand and know where their pain points are, where their shoe is hurting. Right now, as your chief deputy, I'm part of the process deputizing Memphis police officers, Germantown police officers, Bartlett police. We're doing that right now. Recently, I got a call from the Bartlett mayor who had a pain point. He wanted to know how the sheriff's office could be a partner. And I sat down in the office of the Bartlett mayor. For more than an hour, we talked about those pain points. And from his office, we came up with a solution. We're doing that right now. Sheriff Thomas Tuttle of DeSoto County called me a few months ago. He wanted to exchange some deputizations of his deputies for our deputies. We deputized 10 DeSoto County deputies, and DeSoto County deputized 10 Shelby County deputies. We're doing that right now. I submit to you, you have a sheriff's office right now that's working with the municipalities, trying to make sure we know exactly where their pain points are and how we can partner with them. Thank you.
The relationships with the municipality is not a stranger. These are the very individuals that are over those facilities that I rode in cars with. Our best days in addressing crime in this county was when we were partnering with those municipalities. I was in the car with Bartlett office. I was in the car with the Germantown, Careyville office. Those individuals became friends. To this day, I don't have to worry or be introduced to them because they already know me. I'm familiar with Dale Lane in Careyville. I'm familiar with Fisher in Germantown. I'm familiar with Cox and Bartlett. And also, at that time, it was Standback and Millington. These are people whose numbers are in my phone. And over the years, I developed good relationships with them. And the calls came 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and we addressed those issues. So we have to get back to that. How we lost that, I have no idea. But we have to find a way to get back to the partnership that we had back in the day when we were all rolling together. In 2019, Germantown and Careyville boast the #1 and #2 safest cities according to SafeWise in the state of Tennessee. They've lost that. They're not even in the top 20 now because of the relationships in this county now. We have to get that back. So for the people that we are talking about as relates to developing relationships with, these are people I'm already in good relationships with. And I'll continue those in the next days as I become your next sheriff.
It goes back to community policing. It goes back to commitment. It goes back to trust. Trust begins with professionalism and consistency. Being able to communicate with other municipalities, residents in the community. I will increasingly promote more community policing, effort to encourage deputies and other municipalities to work together, to engage with the residents and the business in their community. I will also advocate that having community policing meetings on a regular basis and open platforms to ongoing feedback with other municipalities to ensure that every resident's voice is heard. My goal as the next sheriff of Shelby County is to ensure that every citizen in Shelby County feels that they are respected, protected, and heard. Crime does not stop at the city or county line, neither can law enforcement.
So I'm gonna give you a little game plan. So we're through 4 of our 2-minute long questions. We only have 2 more left, and then we have approximately 5 1-minute questions, and then we're gonna be out of here. I was told we want to release y'all by 8 o'clock. Now I go to a Baptist church. We're in a Baptist church, but we ain't gonna tarry tonight. We're gonna get you home at a decent hour, Mr. Henry Perry. Y'all give it up for Mr. Henry Perry, longtime head of the Teamsters. And his daughter and I attended the best high school in the city of Memphis. We are in the heart of Whitehaven High Tigers. Let's go Tigers, me and young Perry. Let's go Tigers. We got some Tigers in here. We got our old coach back too, Stan Collins back. That's the football coach. We got any other unions in the house? Y'all get that? All right, y'all clap it up. Any more unions in the house? We union strong all day long. We got any? We got ASME, we got IBEW, anyone else? Okay. Just wanted to give a shout out to the unions. After these final 2-minute long questions, I'm gonna get through these candidates who are here before we get into the 1-minute round, because we wanna make sure while you're still up and you got your mind right, you can see all these other candidates who are here running for office as well. So this is question number 4. It's dealing with recidivism. We're gonna start with you, Ms. Scott, all right? Here's the question. Recidivism remains a major driver of crime. What can the Sheriff's Office do directly, and what partnerships can it build to reduce repeat offenses and support successful reentry? Recidivism reduction. Question 5, starting with you, Ms. Scott. 2 minutes.
Yes, first, what we have to do is we have to set up some type of training for our individuals. I have a jail release program that I will put in place for 18 months. An individual can get training while incarcerated. So by the time they get out, they can obtain a job. If you want to stop recidivism, you have to give people a job. You have to give them license. A lot of people don't have ID. You have to give them education. A lot of people don't have education. So we have to develop them while they're inside, so when they get out, they won't come back. That's the main thing. And while they're in, they gotta be able to connect to their loved ones. That stops that re-entry, you know, that recidivism over and over again. You gotta have connection. So training, that's one thing offered for them. And then education. My name is Keisha. I know Scott. History in the making. First woman sheriff. I know my name. Thank you though, but I know.
So I think there's a couple of ways that you address recidivism. There's no one way, but there's a couple. I'll start with this. We have programs right now inside of the Shelby County Jail that's designed to rehabilitate our detained population. Programs like Inside Circle that address trauma. A lot of individuals who come inside of our facility, they are facing traumatic incidents that they're coming from, and even within the facility, they acquire traumatic incidents at times. But then we also have nonprofit organizations that already exist in our community, and I'm just gonna name one because there are many, such as Memphis Allies, who share the focus of actually rehabilitating the entire family. So here it is. We can rehabilitate a detained individual inside of the facility, but if they go back home into some of the environments that they come from, then they're likely to reoffend. So we have to take a family approach when it comes to rehabilitation. So if you're going back into a home where there is no food or lack of food, then that's going to be a problem. And that individual may be faced with choices to go back into a life of crime that will return him or her back to our facility. So I think two things. One, we have to rehabilitate within inside the facility, but then also the sheriff's office has to be a great partner with nonprofit organizations that can provide the wraparound services for the entire family to make sure that we peel them away from what may have caused them to commit crimes in the first place.
Problem with recidivism in our county is most of those individuals enter our jail 6 or more times. That's a problem. We have to begin looking at gateway crimes when an individual commit a crime to find out what the problem is. Oftentimes, there are gateway crimes dealing with shoplifting, narcotic, trespassing, and other things like that. We have to begin looking at day one when that individual come in there the first time. How can the courts address that issue to keep him from coming back? The large numbers that come through those doors are 6 or more times. That indicates a problem with that individual. So we have to partner with the courts, mental health professionals, and whoever else we can partner with as stakeholders in order to address those concerns. So we have to know that those are some things that I've been looking at, and certainly want to, on day one, go into the courts to look at those individuals who are entering our jail 6 or more times. This is a problem for this community. Most of them do not need to be inside that facility because their crimes does not pose a threat to the community, and we have to find ways to address those. But we have to look at those that are coming in 6 or more times to address those.
It all distilled on the improvement of the jail. The Shelby County Jail is a key responsibility. The Shelby County Jail is a key responsibility of the Sheriff's Department and must be run safely, professionally, and efficiently. My priority is improving the jail system, including providing strong support for the jail, raising operations standards, and ensuring that the conditions in the jail are consistently well maintained and monitored on a daily basis. I'm dedicated to increasing the staff level and offering enhancing training for all personnel dealing with inmates and mental consumers, and modernizing the mental health services available in the county jail. That would be my top priority.
Thank you very much. Next, Mr. Pope.
On day one, as the next sheriff of Shelby County, we're going to introduce a new screening process for inmates being coming through the jail. I have a team of medical staff. We're ready to go. We're going to do a screening process to find out if we have individuals who are in mental crisis, if they have drug addiction, or if they're on some kind of psychotics. And what we're going to do is get those people screened, placed in proper housing, then sent to the proper medical facility they need to go to. And while they're there, we introduce a program where they get coaching, training, education, and once they get released from jail, that coaching is going to follow them. We're going to have a follow-up team to make sure that these individuals who are mental, that they're getting their medication, that they're on task to becoming productive citizens in Shelby County because of the new screening process in Shelby County. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, we're down to our final question, 2-minute long question. It's dealing with accountability, transparency, and public trust. Shout out to Reverend Noel Hutchinson, who has a great talk show. If you haven't heard him, tune in to hear what he has to say about some of these topics, and he's joined by his lovely First Lady, Rebecca Hutchinson. Y'all give them a hand. Pastor and First Lady. Question number 6. Public trust in law enforcement is essential. We start with you again, Mr. Butler. What specific accountability and transparency measures would you implement to ensure ethical conduct, reduce excessive force incidents, and improve community confidence in the sheriff's office. 2 minutes.
Give me those three one more time, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. 3 points. What would you do to implement and ensure ethical conduct, reduce excessive force incidents, improve community confidence in the sheriff's office?
Okay, so I think when it comes to ethical conduct and it comes to use of force, it starts with who we choose to hire. That's where it begins. We got to make sure that we continue to hire or select the individuals that will best serve our community. But then also, we live in a time now where we have a lot of technology to help manage our staff. We have policies. But I always say, policies can be black ink on white paper. We got to have the right supervisors in the right positions to make sure that they are addressing issues before they become a huge and significant problem. And then we have to conduct impartial and fair investigation, something that's brought to our attention. But then the last part about transparency. Now, I have to be open, honest, and transparent on this one. The sheriff's office has not done a great job in communicating the issues that we have been dealing with. I'm being honest. As a chief deputy, I'm standing here being honest with you on that. So one thing that I realized in the past 2 years of doing this job as a chief deputy is that we have to communicate more, not only with the elected officials. You asked the question earlier about the mayor and the county commission, but then just the everyday citizen. Because one thing that I realized, there have been times when we go before the county commission on issues and I turn around and there are no citizens, but they don't know to be there. So we have to make sure that we are transparent on a routine basis and communicating on a routine basis with everyday citizens so they can know how to support the sheriff's office. Thank you.
So for all the other candidates, because I know this is a loaded question, the 3 points, what are you going to do to improve ethical conduct, reduce excessive force incidents, and improve community confidence in the sheriff's office? Mr. Hubbard, 2 minutes.
That will be easy. All officers under my command will be trained in community policing to foster collaboration and respect amongst one another. We have to establish that first. We cannot take for granted a 21-year-old coming out of the academy understands the black community. A 21-year-old coming out of the academy understands the white community, or the Hispanic, the Indian, and on and on. So all officers under my command will be trained in community policing. In 2008, there was an incident inside of the intake area involving a member of the LGBTQ community. There was a fight that ensued. The officer in 2010 was charged with civil rights violation. After that officer was charged, we sat at the table, members of the command staff that was chosen by Luttrell at that time, and we came up with policies as to how to address the LGBT community. During that time, policies was submitted, and a curriculum went out for the entire department, and all of us went through that training for the LGBTQ community. We have to do that on this end as well in order for officers to understand and respect the community they serve. Members of law enforcement should be an example of our community. They should be the most loved, respected, and honored individuals that are on the streets. So those are the things that we would do to foster transparency, collaborating, respect, and love for this community.
One or two, three things. One is accountability, transparency, professionalism. Starts with a clear policy, training and supervision. I would charter a clear de-escalation policy that would require regular training for all deputies, and when deemed necessary, when a situation arises. I will assure the use of force to be reviewed immediately and transparently, holding deputies to a clear standard of consistency and professional level of those duties, expectations of the Shelby County Sheriff Office. No one, and I mean no one, is above the law. You can't apply the law and the law not apply to you.
The first thing I would do is retrain the trainers. Retrain the trainers. Shelby County, we have a problem. We have low staff. So what we have out here, we have 1- and 2-year-old patrolmen training recruits. So if you just been on the job a year, you become an FTO, and you train a new recruit, what's the end result? We got to do a better job of training and also retaining experienced officers in Shelby County. A lot of officers are leaving Shelby County in droves going to other agencies. We need to give them new incentives to want to stay. We need to make promotions fair. We need to make job bidding fair. We need to sign a memorandum of understanding and take care of the people who work in Shelby County. It hadn't been signed in 3 years. And besides that, we're going to enhance the body cam. We're going to make sure that when those guys go through training, that they get the proper training, that they know the laws. What we find out is a lot of officers become intimidated when somebody says something about the law. You have to know the law that you're serving, that you're issuing, what you're doing. So we're going to retrain the trainers.
Well, transparency. We all want to talk about transparency. But let's face it, are we being transparent? When an incident happens and the community wants information, are you transparent with them? Do you video with your response, or do you get out before them and declare what happened, what you did, or your officer did what they did? No. Transparency starts there. We don't get that. You get a voice on the TV with a picture up saying this and that, or talk about the weather or something. I don't know. But the public needs to know when an incident happens, they need to know that you're going to be fair, that you're going to hold the individual accountable. Simple as that. We have to have an oversight committee. And you say you're for oversight committees, but let's think back. The county commissioner a couple of years ago came and asked for it. Signed this agreement. We want oversight committee from the sheriff. Now I remember that because I heard it. We still don't have it. No. But they say transparency. Listen to what the people are saying. Hear them for what they are saying to you today. Look in the past. People are in positions today to do what they need to do today, not day one. Day one is today, people. I'm already doing all this stuff I say I'm going to do. I'm not going to wait till day one when I can do it today. You got to have that oversight. Somebody got to oversee the sheriff. Right? You got to have that accountability. You got to hold us accountable. That includes me, the sheriff, too. If I do wrong, I need you to step up and tell me, hey, you're doing this, and we don't like it. I can answer to you, because the people elected me. Thank you. That's my time, Keisha Scott, for sure.
All right, we want to get to the other candidates and elected officials who are here with us. They're busy, but they're taking time out of their busy schedule to be here to support the Democratic Party in this forum. I think Mikhail Lowry was on his way, but he does have his campaign manager here, Felicia Hicks Walker, on behalf of the Lowry campaign. Let's give them a hand. Next, we have Mr. John Bradley, who's running for County Commission District 10. That's Orange Mound, y'all. Give him a hand. Sometimes we just say the mound. You say the mound, we know what you mean. Orange Mound, District 10. Next, we have Mr. Benny Smith running for the county clerk's office. Y'all give him a hand. All right? Have I gotten everybody on that row that's running or elected? Please, announce yourself. Smiley campaign for county mayor. Y'all give her a hand. Miss Whitney, you had the hat and the glasses on. I couldn't recognize you. Thank you very much. All right, now we're going to the middle row. In the back, we have Miss Legina Mitchell-Scott running for County Commission District 13. Y'all give her a hand. District 13 is Poplar Corridor, East Memphis, for those who don't know where that is. All right, next we have, we have Mr. Jonathan Lewis running for the County Commission seat in this district, District 9, Whitehaven. Mr. Lewis, give him a hand. Yes, ma'am? Let's give her a hand. All right? Yes, ma'am.
Estridge, I am running for District 6, and that is the Memphis Shelby County School Board. I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else in this row right here? Yes, ma'am.
Return to Rudd, running for County Commissioner, District 10, Orange Mound.
All
Ms.
right.
Sonia Hall, City Clerk. Thank you, County Clerk. My apologies. All right. Anyone else? Ms. Carpenter, where you running? All right. Executive Committee. We vote on the Tennessee State Executive Committee members for the Democratic Party. That's something you vote for as well, so look for that on the ballot. We got a long ballot. Be sure you vote for all of the candidates running. Now we're on this row here. All right, coming forward, Joseph Lee for trustee. All right, y'all give that a hand. Mr. Lee, been around for years. All right, we got anyone here in this middle row? Let's start back here. Brittany Thornton, running for county clerk. She's also serving District 10 as county commissioner, so she represents the Orange now. Y'all give that a hand. Give her two claps. We have William Stovall for
Shelby County Clerk.
all right, we got clerk candidates in the building. We have Dr. Karen Streeter. What are you running for?
County Commissioner, District 9.
That's why here. Where we are now. Y'all give her a hand. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Taylor, Campaign Manager for Jesse Husett, Tennessee House 97.
Okay, let's give that a hand. Try to flip that seat and make it real crack.
Yes, please.
All right, all right. Very important. Anyone else in this row here? All right, let's move over to this row. All right. Okay, Colin Stocks, running for criminal court clerk. I'll let you say it. Go ahead.
My name is Carla Stocks, and I'm running for criminal court clerk. I appreciate your prayers, your support, and your vote.
Let's get that man. We all know her sister who's now going on glory, but that was Judge Lee Stocks, one of the best judges that served on the circuit court here in Shelby County. Thank you so much for being here, Ms. Stocks. Okay, now we're on this row. We have another row. Okay, I'm gonna get to y'all. Go ahead, man.
Tree Minner, running for Juvenile Court Clerk.
All right, let's give that a hand. All right, you're not running for office, are you, Brent?
I'm running for Jesus, thank God.
Brent, hey, all right? Y'all always got something to say. All right, Brother Brent Thompson in the house. We have another row, Dr. Marie Favis. I'll let you say what you're running for.
Good evening, Dr. Reagan's house, who runs to serve as your next Shelby County Mayor.
All right. Last but not least, we have the first vice president of the Shelby County Democratic Party. He's also a candidate for County Commission District 8, which represents downtown and midtown.
I am Will Richardson. Appreciate your support for County Commissioner District 8 because y'all know where there's a will.
There's a will, there's a way. Y'all see it too. All right, all right. Any other candidates or elected officials that have not been recognized at this time? Y'all give everyone a hand in. Take it from me. Running for office is very difficult. Sitting up here on this stage, having to put everything into 2 minutes or 1 minute is very difficult. So we want to appreciate and thank all those individuals who have offered themselves for public office. It's not an easy thing. So we thank you, we thank you, we thank you, and best of luck to all the candidates. Now we're down to the lightning round. We will now move to the lightning round. These questions are based on the official duties of the Shelby County Sheriff. Responses should be yes or no. Again, responses should be yes or what? No. Or one short sentence. We will move quickly and proceed in alphabetical order. I'm going to reverse it. We'll start with the ladies first, and Scott will come down to Mr. Butler this time. So you have a 1 minute time frame for these speed questions.
Yes or no?
Yes or no, and you can explain within 1 minute. We'll start with the yes or no first. We're going to start with court security. Should the sheriff's office increase investment in courtroom security, staffing, and technology to better protect judges, staff, and the public? Ms. Scott.
Yes, yes, it should be. The problem we have now in the courtroom is that we keep doing manual labor, walking paper from the jail to the court. That takes too much time. That causes too much delay inside processing in the jail. So my answer is yes. They got to have a better system, a better data system. Because what we got now is just not working in manual, constantly handwriting on paper and walking to the clerk's office. It's just not going to work. So yeah, we change that.
All right, next. Same question. Courtroom security.
Yes. And the reason is right now, the Shelby County court system does not have deputies, one deputy assigned to a courtroom. Every day, every courtroom is here, different deputy. They work overtime 7 days a week. I'm saying 7 because we have trials. We need more deputies to fix that problem, the shortage, and yes, we need jail, courtroom security.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Yes. Accountability, transparent, and professionalism. Courtroom security. You're a yes on that? Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Hubbard.
Yes. During the period of time when the courtrooms had an issue with the static inside the court area, along with weapons being brought in unsecured, it was my work to produce those scanners of non-metallic and metallic scanners that went into the courtroom in order to address security inside of there. So I say yes. I say we need to make sure those court areas are secure.
All right. Mr. Butler.
The answer to the question is yes, and we also need to invest in greater technology to secure our courtrooms.
All right, thank you very much. Now, what we're going to do now is make this our last question. They've given me the nod. I have 5 questions, but we only want to do one more. I tell you, we're going to get you out of here. All right, now, this is our last question for the evening. Now, what we're going to do is still going to be a 1-minute yes or no. You can explain that, answer within a minute, and then next, and finally, we're going to have a 1-minute closing statement from each of the candidates. Now, in the law, many people don't remember anything else about the trial, but they remember your closing argument. So we're going to ask these candidates to put on their lawyer hats and make their closing argument to the jury. Jury of your peers who are going to vote for you on election day. You got to make the closing argument to convince them to push the button for you. We get into that, but first we're going to get to this final lightning round question, and I'm trying to see which one I'm going to ask, and I think we are going to do this one because this is pressing on everyone's minds. Jail oversight. And we're going to start with you, Mr. Pope. And the question is, should the Sheriff's Office adopt an independent external auditing process for jail conditions and use of force reviews in our jail? Start with you, 1 minute. Mr. Pope.
For that question, I would say yes and no. There needs to be some type of jail oversight for inmates in jail as well as the officers. And the reason I'm saying no is because we're going to invest in body cams for the jails as well. Every deputy jailer, every officer, Shelby County should be wearing a body cam.
Yes to that. And for the oversight, you got to have oversight for the jail. You got to have checks and balances. That's the only way you're going to reduce your debt inside the jail. It's the only way. Another thing is just common sense. Common sense thinking. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to do the right thing. You got to have accountability. I believe all of them should be wearing vests, and they all should be wearing body cams as well. Just transparency for the people. My name is Keisha Scott.
The answer is yes. One thing that I've learned over the last 20 years is that it's always good to have someone from the outside come in and look at your operations, look at your policies. Right now we have an accredited jail, so people come in, but it's always healthier to get more eyes on the situation. We learn through the juvenile court system, when we bring in experts from various areas to come in and look at your operation, you can learn something from anybody. So the answer is yes. I think we should have some oversight where people come in from the outside to look at our policy, look at our procedure, look at our infrastructure, and offer recommendations and
The answer is yes. Any measures put in place to give oversight to the jail is a good thing. We need that, so my answer is yes, most definitely we need to put that in place.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Parker.
I say yes. Oversight is important from an outside standpoint and an inside standpoint. Transparency, like I said, transparency, accountability is the most important thing that's really going to be going on the sheriff's department right now.
Thank you. Y'all give the candidates another hand. We're going to allow them to make their 1-minute closing argument, and then someone from the Democratic Party will come up and close us out. But I do want to acknowledge Mr. J.B. Smiley Jr., former chair, City Councilman J.B. Smiley Jr. He has come on the stand third way. He's running for Shelby County Mayor as well. Okay, now, we're going to start with you, Ms. Scott. We're going to let you do your 1-minute close to the audience, and you have to tell them why they should elect you as sheriff when we start voting in April and May. 1 minute, Ms. Scott.
Yes, Keisha Scott. Well, we all know and see right now that nobody can really say. You say crime is down. More people think still up. It's crime, right? We still feel it. Even though the National Guard is here, we still feel it. And they're here because we haven't done our job for law enforcement. They're doing the work for us. That's not acceptable. And we as people got to come together. Know that they're voting for. We got to look at what we want from the sheriff. You want a sheriff to lead you, you want a sheriff to follow. Right now, we follow him. I already told you the sheriff is the highest ranking law enforcement officer. We got a sheriff, me, got to put a stamp on it. My confidence is going to be on Memphis and Shelby County. When I walk these streets with you hand in hand, you're going to know who Keisha Scott is. You're going to know who your sheriff is. A lot of people don't know. But when I come to your city, your community, you're going to know my name, Keisha Scott, because I'm for transparency, accountability, and I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to take that politics out of the sheriff's office and put it in the hands of the people again. Work along because you people are going to elect a woman, a first-time woman sheriff in Shelby County, and the state of Tennessee. Thank you, my name is Keisha Scott.
Go, Mr. Pope. 1 minute. Close the door. We all know the epic phase of the sheriff's office. We all know the crisis that we face. It's time for something different, something new. We need a sheriff that knows what to do, not being told what to do. We need a sheriff that will stand out front and call the shots, not have shots called for him. We need a sheriff who's not going to make backroom deals, try to put a jail somewhere it don't need to be. We need a sheriff that's going to stand for the people of Shelby County. I stand here before you, saying I'm going to open doors to Shelby County Sheriff's Office to the people. We're going to make sure that we hire purpose people to work these positions. We're going to stand and patrol Shelby County and get the sheriff office back to the people.
My name is Shelby County. I want to be the next sheriff of Shelby County because you need steady experience, leadership, focus on public safety and accountability. Shelby County deserves leadership and commitment and safety. If I'm elected, I will work every day to strengthen law enforcement, support our veterans, and protect our community. Vote make it pretty hard.
Mr. Hubbard.
Yes, experience matters. I worked for 6 different sheriffs during my tenure, and under those I learned some things. So on day one, I'll be poised to go in and make the right decisions. I'm the only candidate in this race who's a member of the American Corrections Association. Poised to face the most pressing issue that this community has right now. So I'm asking that this community go out and vote for Reginald Hubbard to become the next sheriff.
You saw thank each and every last one of these candidates who running for sheriff. I know all of them. We've been friends for 20 years. I also want to thank two who are not on the stage this evening, Donald Taylor and Michael Pryor. While they have suspended their campaigns, they have not suspended their desire to see a sheriff's office move forward. So thank them for their time as well. Listen, folks, I started the conversation this evening with a story about my daughter, and I even talked about your own stories. I hear those stories every single day. You have a sheriff that's going to bring to bear all of my experience over 20 years of working in the sheriff's office, currently serving as a chief deputy, and a graduate of the FBI National Academy. I will bring all of those experiences to bear to make sure that, one, I focus on mentorship programs, two, I focus on creating a safer community for your family, and third, create a jail that's more humane and safe for everybody who comes to custody. Thank you.
Let's give everyone a hand again. Let them stand. Y'all can get some more pictures here. Thank y'all very much. Y'all like it, those graduations when the principal say y'all can holler at the end. Y'all got it in. I want to acknowledge one other person, Taylor Judge. Taylor Bachelor. Y'all give her a hand. She's running. Final word goes to our fearless chair, Mr. Willie Simon. Close it out. Thank y'all very much.
Yes.
Hey,
Thank you.
I want to thank each and every candidate for coming up here and sharing your plans for Shelby County. We don't take it lightly that you took your time today to come up here and explain yourself to the people. And we don't take it lightly that the